This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
It's time for Tell It to Stanya. It's all about you. Ooh, let's peel away the layers and focus on you. Ooh, what's going on inside? Let's talk about truth and the matter of who we are. Let's find out together on Tell It to Stanya.
Pleasant good afternoon. Welcome to Tell It to Stanya. That's right. I am she and she is me. And today is Saturday. And in case you just did not know it, at 1:06 p.m. It's actually Saturday. Just wanna, before I jump on in, a whole lot of stuff happened this week. I mean, people was ratified. People, look at my co-host. What are you laughing at?
Good afternoon, Bahamas. I'm laughing at you, Stanya.
Yeah, man, people was ratified. I mean, people, some ratified, some wasn't ratified, some mad because they wasn't ratified. But it was an interesting week. I saw one of my students, my life coaching students, life coach certification students, Heather was ratified. And listen now, Stanya is not, I'm not affiliated with any political party. Okay, none at all. I like Tito Jackson and the Jackson 5. Okay. But Heather, and many of y'all should remember Heather because Heather has hosted the show for me a few times. Heather also came on as a guest. So looking forward to see how it goes for her. She's an amazing woman. This my shameless plug because I know Heather. But, she going up against a giant, mind you, in Angliston. She's going up against a giant.
Oh, wow.
But, Heather's a woman who, the first time I met her, honestly, I said, I knew that she would be, I don't want to say somebody because we are all somebody, but she would do big things. And I remember telling her that she had it factor from day one. Mm-hmm. And she's someone who, she doesn't really talk the talk, but she definitely has devoted her life to helping other people, whether or not it was, in YEP or, working one-on-one with people. She's always been very, very dedicated. Nobody give Heather nothing. Heather had to work for that. So that's my shameless plug.
That's her shameless plug.
Yeah, man. That's because she's an Eve's Journey life coaching student. She did the course. And if you want to be a life coach as well, because I can tell you I have other phenomenal people who did the program who are all doing amazing things. I always tell people that, the women who, and men, because I have a few men who did the program as well, all of them, I understand they could run circles around me in whatever it is that they do. Amazing. I mean, focus, determined. That's my shameless plug. Hello. Now, on to
And it's okay. You don't got to be ashamed.
That's right. Hello. I know I don't even sound ashamed about that. Hello, somebody. So, of course, the person that you would have heard just now, she's my co-host and as well as a guest, and her name is Michaela Forbes.
Hi, Bahamas. I'm Michaela Forbes, the artistic accountant. Don't forget the artistic accountant.
Put some respect on her name. Hello,
Yes,
somebody.
yes.
All right. And she's also the host of a Safe Space podcast. So hopefully you guys would have seen it. And if you haven't, where can they check it out, Michaela?
It's definitely on YouTube at a safe space _podcast. You could check us out from the YouTube channel or Facebook, Instagram. On our Facebook, we are a Safe Space Podcast 242, both Facebook and Instagram. But season 3 is coming out in next month. So definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel at a safe space _podcast.
Good stuff. So listen now we're here to talk about divorce, believe it or not. And we're going to talk about a purposeful divorce and really would led her to also start a Safe Space podcast. I know I would have seen it. I'm saying, okay, you're doing an amazing job. Amazing must be the word for today.
It's amazing.
That's right. Amazing job. But before we came on air, we were talking about you being an Amazon, a tall woman.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
I'm 5'8.5". How tall are you, Stanya?
Right, and I was just gonna say, and then I'm 5'11" and a half.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah. Most people maybe because it's radio, so of course they don't see me, or they see me sitting down. But usually when I stand up or they see me in person, it's like,
They look up.
listen. I remember I minded my own business buying food, and this gentleman, he was like, "You's a tall tree." Right, and Michael a little fast because Michael was asking if I dated guys who were taller than.
Yeah. Do you look for guys who are taller, or do you also date guys who are shorter than
Who are
you?
shorter?
Mhm.
I have dated guys who are shorter than I am.
Okay.
Believe it or not. And you know what? The weird, crazy thing is that, okay, I've dated a guy who's like 5'6".
Okay.
Man, I almost want to say a tall midget. No, I like me. But honestly, I'll tell you this, though. I felt the two gentlemen who come to mind who I dated, I felt very safe with them.
Really?
Yes.
I have so much questions. Did you wear heels when you went out?
When I went out, sometimes, yes. Yeah.
Wow. Did they ever try to lift you? Because I'm.
So you're running out
See?
now.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like I want somebody to lift me. Did they try?
Well, actually, one could lift me.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
yes,
So
one.
that's a plus. That's a plus. Okay.
Yeah, man. So I mean, and they were. The
So
word for
shout out
day.
to the short guys.
That's
who
right.
can
Shout
still
out
lift
to short guys. And you know what? I was talking about this with someone this morning, and we're gonna segue into divorce. But so here's the story. I have a male friend, and he's a little short, right? Not that short, but he's short. So I remember him saying that he went out on this date. He met someone online, and then they met up, and they had a great time. And the lady was like, "Well." Let's say his name is Bill. Well, Bill, we have good conversation. You're attractive and all. You're a good dad. Blah blah blah. You have a, but you so short. I don't know if I could date a short guy. Could you date a short guy?
I can definitely date a short guy if he's serving God and he's the right right guy.
You
Yes.
can. So you're open to it.
I'm very open to it. Yes.
So, and here's the thing. So, I'm here trying to empower and inspire Bill, right? So I was like, Bill, you are, word for the day, amazing, okay? And if she doesn't see how,
yes.
Who you are and has an appreciation for you because you are smart, you are handsome, you're good. And I going on and on with this, And maybe about a week or two later, I met this petite short guy.
Oh, petite meaning
He was,
small, slim.
Yes, slim,
Okay.
very, 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 very petite. And I mean, this guy really did like me. Lord, I hope, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't get
So you
past
can't
it.
do petite and short?
No.
It got to be either one?
No, man, one little piece of meat, man. Eat one little piece of chicken, man. You gotta have one. And now, mind you, the short guys, they weren't they wasn't overweight or whatever, but they had a little definition and they had a little meat on them. But a petite.
The petite one petite plus short can't lift you. For real. That's what I'm saying. You need somebody who might can lift you. I don't
But
know.
there's plenty to lift too, though.
There's plenty to lift, but still, I want you to try. If we end up getting married, I want you to try. Hello.
You gotta get lift over the threshold.
Yes, yes, come on. You gotta try.
I don't know, Brittany. Brittany, would you date a short guy? A guy who's shorter than you?
And
Okay,
petite.
Brittany said, and petite. Yeah. Oh, she said, yeah. Okay, so you would.
How tall is Brittany?
Brittany, how tall are you? 5'6"? Okay, all right. Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't do that one though.
I think you should be open.
And then also
Try.
though, maybe he. Lord, I really could get. I hope
God might have sent him to you in the pocket just to see if Stanya is open
failed
and
the
ready.
test.
And ready.
I been failed the test. Listen, Michael, epic fail.
Epic fail. The test come around again. Slim and petite. Just go out on 1 or 2 dates and see what happens. Yes.
Well, I honestly, I think maybe it wasn't a connection too, though, because
I
not
think that's
chemistry,
it.
but yeah, it
I
just
think that's
wasn't
it.
connecting for me.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you like someone, you like them.
Yes, I think that's it. Because I went out with a short. Post my divorce, I started dating, and I went out with a short guy. And my mom swears I did not like the guy because he's short. No, I didn't like that. Nothing to do with the shortness.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's about, and not even chemistry, because you could have good chemistry. And chemistry doesn't mean anything to me, and
Yeah.
chemistry is something that fades. It's very superficial.
It's definitely not about chemistry. You could have chemistry with so much different people, but it's about connection and it's about purpose
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm serious. Okay.
and alignment. All of those things. All of the above.
Okay, so somebody saying that their last celeb crush is 5'6" and petite. But see, so they cool with short men.
Okay.
Okay.
They ain't say who the celeb is?
Yeah, man, y'all gotta say who the celeb is.
Uh-huh.
And
That's
also,
good information.
if you're listening to me, well, now hold on now, what's going on with this thing, you know? She don't know I'm gonna be 50 this year.
Oh, 50.
The big 50. That's right.
50 and fabulous.
Hello, somebody.
Hello.
So if you want to get in on this conversation, of course, you can send me a text message for 4224796.
Yes, this dating conversation.
Yes, 4224796. Send me a message. Let me know what you think. Have you ever dated a short to women who are taller?
Yeah.
You know, and some are and some aren't.
Yeah, some are. Because some tall guys are attracted to very petite, short women. And
You're
that's
right.
their preference, and that's okay if that's their preference.
Now, mind you, a lot of times, like when I see short men with women, I'm like, boy, you smart.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Like, you are the man. I bow and salute to you. Okay? Hello, somebody. Okay, so Michaela, we're here, of course. We're cracking jokes, but
Yeah.
we're talking about the divorce. And,
Yes.
And that was something that I asked you about because, watching the Safe Space podcast, of course, everyone is sharing their story.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't see where Michaela was sharing her story. Like in little bites.
In little bits?
Yes.
Okay.
And you know what I've realized too as a host? Ain't nobody's invite you to be the guest.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. It's crazy you said that because season 2, episode 1, I shared my story. I actually was the guest. And in season 3 episodes coming up, episode 7, I'm actually the guest.
Good.
So people can learn more about my story. And
Because I believe that, and I've shared this on the radio a few times, where there's different roads to purpose.
Yeah.
And one of the roads actually life. Like, where has life taken you? It's a clue to where it is that you need to go. Because a lot of times the person that you came for, it's you.
yeah. And I think that's one of the important roads because the experiences you get with life, you ain't get in the classroom and you won't get nowhere else. Okay? So
No.
life teaches you some stuff that you wouldn't find somewhere else.
No,
Yeah.
like, a lot of times, like, people ask me, okay, Stanya, what is your bio? Send me a bio. And I usually say, okay, I'm a certified coach. I'm the founder of Eve's Journey. And I'm the host of Tell It to Stanya. And of course, they're like, didn't you go to college? Yeah. You have a degree? Yes, I do. Didn't you work at school psych? Didn't you work at NTA? Like, what are you doing?
They want you to say it all. Like, they want you to give the whole.
But you know what? I don't, because I feel as though that is just so people could think or believe in what I say. But the real story is that life prepared me to be who I am. You know what I
very
mean?
wise, yes.
Yeah, that's the credentials right there. My life experiences is what has helped me to connect with people, to select the path that I'm on, to select the profession, to live a life of purpose,
Yes.
and everything else.
Yes.
It was life or God prepared.
Life and the Holy Spirit.
Yes.
And He prepares you for what is
When
there
you
to
don't-
come. When you didn't even know He preparing you.
Right.
He prepared you.
Exactly.
And I'm like, God, you couldn't send me a text message or something? Nope. So
Right.
if I send it to you, you wouldn't go down this path.
Exactly.
So life and the Holy Spirit. Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
Okay. Now, how old were you when you got married?
I got married at a good age. I think I was 28.
Because you look with 28 now.
Oh, I look with 28?
Yeah,
Thank
man.
you.
Yes.
I got married at 28. I was ready for marriage. I was ready for the marriage. I was ready for the kids. I remember before I met my ex-husband, I had broke up with somebody who I was dating for like 7 years. So when we broke up at 25, I was like, the next one, I am getting married because TikTok. I having these 2 kids by 30. Like, I was the
Right.
one on that clock, just ready to do it. And sometimes I tell women just to slow down a little bit, even if that clock
But
might be ticking.
as women, I don't know if men do this, but we're like, okay, so by the time I reach 20 something, I'm gonna be married. I'm gonna have.
I do not think men do that.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think men do that. I know some men now who probably 40s, 50 and have not been married, no kids, and be like, when the time is right, it will happen. I'm like, wow.
You know what? And then when we meet the guy, let's say we go on a date. Okay, is this the one?
Yes.
Can I see myself with this person?
Exactly, and I feel like we're not enjoying. If we're not enjoying the date, if we're already talking from the first date, is it the one? Like, come on, enjoy
Right.
the first date,
Yes.
enjoy the conversation, enjoy finding something new about yourself, about the person.
Yeah.
Are we ready? Is this the one? If it's not the one, no, enjoy the date and
Yes.
learn something from
Yes.
that date. It might not be the one, but it's the one right now.
In this moment.
Yes, in this moment.
Yeah. Oh Lord, we got some things.
But I
we
do
gotta
have some
fix.
friends who stress about, is it the one? I'm like, don't worry if it's the one. Just go out on the dates.
Exactly.
Okay?
Enjoy yourself.
Enjoy yourself.
Try to get that free food. Hello.
I don't think he's the one, so I won't go on a date. Go on the date.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
It's not even always about the free food. It's about sometimes the conversation. They might teach you something that you might
I was
actually
just about
like.
to say that. Or
Yes.
even, this may be for networking purposes, or maybe there's
Yes.
something that you were supposed to pour into him.
That's very true. That's
Yeah.
very true. And we need to be cognizant of that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then even, dating people, I think it's like the school.
Yes.
It is a life school, because now you're learning, like, what do you want? What do you need? And a lot of times, we may say we want this thing, and then when it shows, we don't want
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
each person actually brings you closer to where it is that you say that you want to be, and what it is that you say that you want.
Exactly. I like what you said just now, that you might be on that date to pour something into that person. 'Cause
Yes.
I always think about dating as rediscovering myself.
No, it's not about
and,
you.
So maybe it's not about me. Maybe
No.
it's me having to pour into them.
Yes.
Thanks, Stanya. See, I learned something already.
Thank you, man. Listen, I know one little something, Now, I don't know plenty, but I know one little something.
Oh, gosh. Thank you.
But yeah, a lot of times, we think that it's about us, and sometimes it's not. It really, sometimes it's even to show a guy that you could have what you say that you want, or even, hey, that belief that you have, or even maybe sometimes things turn into a business relationship.
Yes, which is
Or-
also purposeful. Can be
Yeah, so
purposeful.
it just depends.
Yeah.
And that's why you have to really be open.
Or it might even be for you are your other single friend. You might say, "Oh, you ain't right for me,"
Yes,
but I
right.
think you and this would get along very well because y'all want the same things in life.
Do you
Yes.
think that we are open, or we're ready for that level of maturity too, to say that, like, who was I speaking, man? Y'all know I talk plenty. Hello. And I remember saying to a friend, I said, are you, like, do you think, oh, that was my sister we were talking. Yes, it was my sister, and we were having this conversation. And so I say, boy, sometimes as women, we need to understand or realize that another woman really better for that man than we are.
Yes. Actually, say that in the moment, but I think after you go on too deep with the man and maybe have already, slept with him, you don't want. Yeah, but if you are a friend,
Right.
you didn't do the physical thing, and
Right.
he's better for somebody else.
Let the man
I
go.
think we could be mature enough to let the man go and be happy somewhere else, especially if it's for our friend.
Yes.
But after something happened, you'd be like, you can't be around. You cannot be around no friend. So I think we just gotta take our time and find out that person is for us first before we take it too far.
Okay, so you said you were 28.
I was
and-
28 when I got married, and we were dating since I was 25.
Okay.
And so we dated about 3 years, and then we got married. We were married for 15 years, and then it ended in separation and then a divorce. So people always ask me, Michaela, why did you get divorced? And I always say it is not simple, but I will try to simplify it. So anybody ever talk about yellow flags? When yellow flags tells you in dating. So it's not those red flags like, oh, bad, the person is toxic. Run now, get away. No, but there's some yellow flags where you might not, you might just keep going and not go deeper. I think I experienced that in dating. So these yellow flags, like my ex was extremely quiet, but I'm like, oh, he's mysterious. Oh, he's a
See,
good,
I don't-
he's a good listener. Oh, I could talk enough for both of us. Like I was that person, okay? And I kind of ignored how quiet he was until we got married, and we had such an emotional thing that happened to us. My daughter was born 1 pound premature.
Okay.
Premature. I was almost 6 months. I was 5.5 months. And when she came, I realized that he could not deal with anything emotional. He would shut down and he would kind of just disappear. Like he would find a way to disappear just so he couldn't deal with anything emotional. So when it comes to emotional stuff, I had to deal with everything, or just take it on, or just keep it to myself. So I think that happened about 3 years into our marriage, when my daughter was in the hospital for about 5 months, and then I ended up being admitted to the hospital, and he was, when I say nowhere to be found, and instead of speaking up, I became silent. And that's something that I look back and I'm like, why did you become silent? Like, why didn't you say, this hurt me, even though you knew this person didn't like confrontation? So I started to change. So I think my marriage didn't end 4 years ago. It kind of ended a long time ago, but we weren't saying the words.
Okay, so a lot to unpack there.
Yes.
All right, so you said that, like, in retrospect, you think you can agree that, okay, he was very quiet.
Yes.
Okay, so why do
He's
you
very
think?
quiet.
Okay, why do you? What do we mean quiet? First of all, let's
Oh my
explain
gosh,
that.
quiet as in you share something, share something back. Like he would kind of like maybe not let it go there and change the subject, but he was just like you thought he was just a great listener. A great listener, so just quiet. And everybody who knows him say, "Oh yes, he's very quiet. He was always like that." So yeah.
And you know what? I don't like that either.
You don't like quiet?
No, I like quiet. I do like quiet, but I also like conversation.
You like conversation.
And so, a love language is, this deep conversation.
Yes.
So for me, it's like, you're inviting someone into your sacred space. And if you're in a relationship with someone, you have to communicate. If
Yes.
someone isn't talking, you don't even know this person is, really.
And that's crazy how you say that, because my love language is communication. But you know what? I would have to say that I wasn't healed when I met him. I met him 3 weeks after I got out of a very long relationship that I thought I was going to marry somebody. And that person, we had our love language of communication. So I say, no, I don't need that. I don't want nobody who look anywhere like him, because he was a talker. He was everything put on the table, that type of thing. And I was like, no, what? I go on to total opposite of now. This one is quiet. Maybe this one is more safe. And quiet is not mean safe. Quiet could just mean quiet. Just out there, just talking everything, and he's the life of the party, doesn't mean that he is not safe, and just like the opposite. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go the opposite. And that was not a good time for me to make a decision in that moment, because I wasn't healed. I didn't even take time to heal. I was like, next.
Wow.
Let's go. And I think that was the perfect time for me to take a step back and for the first time be single in my life. But I didn't recognize that. I wasn't as close to God as I am now to recognize that I need to be single. Single has a purpose. I need to be single. And I didn't stay single.
So, okay, do you think, though, for you that it was, okay, you decided that you didn't want to be single? Because, we get in that space where we decide that, what, like, enough is enough. I don't want to be in this state. And so when we meet someone, we now, we making this happen. You know what I mean? We determine and we have decided that this, why are you laughing, Michael? Because, we get in that space.
I do, especially women. I think it was a couple of things. I never watched my mother be single. My mother was relationship to relationship. She was a single woman. And when one relationship ended, she already had the next boyfriend. And that's what I watched. So I thought that was normal. And that's what I did very much in my early dating stages, like next, thinking it was normal. But I wasn't mature to say, I didn't even know what healing was at that point.
Wait, hold on, because hold on one second, Michael. Yes. Okay, this is the sticker pin. Okay, audience. Once again, I am big on this whole how did we get here and the parenting thing. And I keep on last week when you listened to the story, and he mentioned, that his dad was a hustler and that this is what he adopted and this is what he got. So here it is, Michaela is now here. And she is sharing about her mom, that she would have watched her mom go from relationship to relationship. I'm pointing this out because this is how we became, or how we came to be.
Yes.
We model the behavior of our parents in many, many ways.
Yes, we do.
Okay, and this is why it's very important for us to actually be a certain way when we're dating, when we have children. Like, my mom passed, but I remember when my daughter finished high school, my mom said to me, she said, now you could date. And I remember I was like, what are you talking about? And so she said, but I did it with you guys. Now, mind you, I can remember my mom only having 2 relationships. So, and they were long term, but I remember her being single periods of time.
You remember that?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I remember. Yeah. But there's a lot of people, a lot of us, that we have never actually been alone. We literally, your mom is not alone.
Yeah.
And I'm speaking to y'all right now, and I know I'm talking to many people right now. Many of y'all who listening, y'all have never ever been single. Y'all had the first relationship at whatever age. It's just been from woman to next woman to next woman, or from a man to the next man, or switch over however y'all
Never
listen.
with yourself. Never loving on yourself. So I think my mom was in survival mode. She had my sister when she was 17 and me when she was 18. So when she graduated from high school, she had my sister. And I think that was very rough for her. So that was probably one way she coped. But now, guess what, guys? My mom is 65 now, still young, and she is single. Okay? And she is loving on herself. So I think it's, yeah.
By the way,
Yes.
and mom looks
Mom looks awesome.
Amazing.
Amazing. She
Yes.
looks amazing. She's single, and I'm like, Mom, just take your time. When God will make it happen in the right time. In the right time. So that was one of the reasons. So I watched my mom in my early age never be single. And then that clock, that society clock, what tells you, oh, you bet after you've done what you gotta do, be married and have kids. Like that's all a woman's supposed to do. That's how I felt. Like I just want to be married and have my kids. And let's go. Let's do this. So it's the combination of those two that made me ignore some yellow flags.
right, because this is what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. Yes, this is
Okay.
what you're supposed to do. And girl, you 20-something, you won't have them by 30, you know. After 30, I think they call you high risk. After 30-something, they call you high risk. You want to have them and you want to, yeah,
Well, I had my daughter at 30, so.
at 30. I know somebody who's having their kids in their 40s,
40s.
and they're,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they're good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
but
Yeah.
yeah. So it's definitely was society. But yeah, I didn't even know what healing was at that time.
Okay.
I probably needed to heal, and I didn't even know what that was. I wasn't mature enough or close to God enough to know what that was. Yeah.
Okay. So when you look back, what do you think you needed to heal from?
Oh, I was discovering
Pick one.
so much things that I need to heal from at that time. I would think that I just need to be by myself to find out who Michaela really was. Because right then I was kind of conforming to what society thinks I should be, or what whoever I'm dating thinks I should be or needs, instead of figuring out who I am. So when you know who you are and you have joy in yourself, when you date, you can tell if somebody adds to your joy or takes it away. I couldn't tell if that person was adding to my life or taking away from my life, because I didn't know who I was. And I wasn't in a great place.
The thing about it, and I just told a friend this morning that I said I'm going to write a book, and I've been thinking about this all week. And so I'm like, what's the name of this book? The name of the book is Growing Up at 49.
Growing up at 49.
Yes, ma'am.
That's now.
Yes, ma'am.
Growing up at 49.
Growing Up at 49.
yeah.
And you know what? I remember, hi, Miss Connie. This is an older lady. She said, and Miss Connie was, I think she's maybe 80. And Miss Connie said that the first 50 years of your life, she said, is theory. And then if God bless you with more than that, it's now practicum. It's practice.
I love that.
And she's right, because you know you go through so many changes. You go through so many changes, in life. A lot of times, we think that we want something, and like I said earlier, and maybe that may be the thing for you at that time. But you're gonna change. Yeah. You're gonna evolve. Well, hopefully, you're gonna evolve, and your needs are gonna change, and your wants are gonna change.
Yes.
And so you become this different person. And can this person really sustain who you are? Can they complement who you are?
Yeah, and that goes both ways. As both of us change, can we change together and get to know each other again and evolve together? Like, are we going down the same path? And I think I back then I didn't know about purpose. I didn't even discover. I thought purpose was this big thing, like people talk about, and it's like so far away from me. Like all of that. Like at 20-something, I didn't learn that, and it's okay to not know it at 20-something. But yeah, when I look back, like I didn't know a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So one of the yellow flags was that he was silent.
Yeah.
Okay. So how did that come back to kind of haunt you? in a
Oh my
way?
gosh! When we moved in together after being married, I realized he worked 24/7. I think
You
we
didn't
were
notice
dating.
before?
Nope, we were dating, and every time he said we were going on a date, he would be there. And we went on a date. Yes, he might have been silent at that date, but literally living with him, I realized he worked. He didn't come home till like after 9. So even when I was pregnant with my first child, who was a normal birth, he didn't come till after 9. So that's just literally he eating and going to bed. So it wasn't no time to create intimacy. It wasn't no workaholic. And in the first year of marriage, we went back into counseling, and I'm like, this can't work. So he was a workaholic. So he poured all himself into his work and nothing into his.
Okay, so
else.
there are some people who would say that, okay, well, this is how a hardworking man, his life is like. What would you say to that?
I would say somebody who is, so life is so many things. Life is work and financial, but it's also your relationships. So if you let your relationships die and wither up, when you get to where you are financially, it's not going to be worth anything. So pour into both, figure out balance. But at that time, there was no balance. So I was home by myself,
Most of the time.
most of the times. The food would already been cooked and he would just eat and go to bed. And sometimes it was him sleeping on the couch instead of coming to bed. And that happened very early in our marriage.
So when
yeah.
did y'all talk?
We talked when I decided to build the courage and talk. Like when I started to live with him, I realized there was not only quietness, it was like a distance that even if you tried to break down a wall, you couldn't break down that wall. Whether I started opening up more. So it started to make me like, oh my gosh, I am now dealing with something I don't even know what is going on.
And this happened early on in the marriage?
It happened very early in the marriage.
So how were y'all able to stay for 15 years?
Because I stayed. I said, the Lord said, I cannot get divorced because our personalities are different. He said I could get divorced because of adultery. And I said, I will stay in this marriage. Even if I'm not happy, I will stay in this marriage and I will try. And I will try. So it wasn't until adultery happened that it was like, I'm gone. Yeah. And I didn't go the first time. It was the second time it happened that I gone.
Now
Because at the first time when it happened, I started the healing process already with myself. And I'm like, maybe this is actually going to make us better, because I heard people who went through adultery and make them better and they started talking again and they started, but no, it made it worse. So I'm like, I'm not
two
staying.
things. Okay, one, you said that you built up the courage to have the conversation. Why did you have to build up the courage to speak with your husband?
Because when you're in a relationship that the person does not like to confront things, you start almost adjusting. When you start changing, it's not big stuff, It's almost like small stuff. You just don't say anything just to make it more. You just have a pleasant dinner and then it grows into something huge. So if you're not comfortable speaking up with the person you're married to, something is already wrong. And I say look deeper at that. So I used to be somebody who spoke up in the marriage, but I realized that made him very uncomfortable. And anytime we get close, it made him more uncomfortable. I started to pull back because I didn't want to make him uncomfortable. I didn't want to be that nagging wife. I didn't want to be that. I wanted things to be
and did that
comfortable.
work out?
Oh, it did not work out because I started to lose myself because I am that person who speaks up. And I became very, very silent for about 10 years. I became very, very silent. Yeah.
So it took your voice.
Yeah, it took my voice, exactly. The marriage literally took my voice and drained every living thing out of me. And then I started to find my voice again.
So, okay, how did we get into actually him committing adultery? Because he had all this time for wait now.
They make time to be aware. They make time.
Boy, listen.
I think, like I said to people, the marriage is very distant, so I wouldn't say it didn't shock me. I think I was surprised at the time, but when I look back, the marriage is very distant for years and years, even though we had decided that we were going to stay. So it was, the first time I still wanted to work on our marriage because I'm like, you know what, now we could go to counseling, just lay all our cards on the table, just say who we are now. I could get to know the real him. He get to know the real me, and it could be this person is who this person is, and I gotta believe them. If their actions is saying I am this,
right?
Even though I may ask him, do you want this marriage? He's like, yes, I want a marriage. Your actions show if you want
the marriage.
Yeah. Your words. No. It's just air unless your actions align with your words. And his actions did not align with his words at all.
A lot of times okay, wait, hold on, let me give this nice little thing for what I do. Okay, hold on. I work with misunderstood women, helping them to move on. You see, this is a nice thing. I done mess it up, but to move on from a relationship and be in peace and not pieces.
Yes.
Now, a lot of times they come to me and they're like, okay, Stanya, I don't want, I don't want my marriage to end. I don't want to lose my marriage. I don't want a divorce. And so, I'm looking at them and then I'm like, can I say something? And anytime I say that, Michaela, no. See how you laughing? It's
the truth. Like you got
something
the truth.
come in.
Yes.
So I normally say, can I say something? Boo-boo, your marriage been over. What you are afraid of, you are facing your living.
Yes.
Because there is no relationship.
Yes. Yes.
There's no relationship.
And I think we're in denial that image of being married. We still want the kids, growing up in this 2-parent household. We don't want to start over. So we stay in denial for a while sometimes.
I remember my grandmother. Now I adored my grandfather. I mean, adored.
Your
Yes,
grandfather. Wow.
He was the word for the day. Amazing. Okay, and so I remember many years later, because my granddad would have died in the 80s. I was like in 1985, and so I'm driving with my grandmother. And so, I'm like, yeah, Ma, I know you did love Pa and blah, blah. And she said, I never loved Pa. And I was like, what? What? How you mean? I said, Ma, how could you say that and you stayed with him all those years?
Yes.
And you know what she said? She said, I stayed with him because I wanted my sons to have a father. And in that moment, of course, that resonated with me.
Yes.
So we stay in many different reasons
different
why we stay. We
reasons.
stay for all kind of other foolishness.
And with your Grammy saying that, I remember different people I've dated was like, marriages was better in those days. Not necessarily, but they stayed. Like, I guess more women are leaving or calling it quits now when they're in a toxic relationship. But they're thinking, marriages were better in that days. No, the women just didn't leave.
Right,
they didn't leave. They stayed. You know, for different reasons. She wanted.
And by the way, there are men who stay for the kids as well. A gentleman comes to mind. I can't call his name, and I remember he always said, listen, when my daughter go off to college, I am leaving her. And I was
he
like,
stayed because of the kids.
Yeah, and I was like, no, you're not. You could be right there. Okay, so years went by, and I went to he said, Stanya, I got a divorce, right?
So he waited till
Yes,
the
he
kids
did.
went to college.
The minute.
And that's why you wonder, oh my God, you've been married for 25 years, but how come you get divorced at that? Because they were just waiting it out until the kids was...
Yes, the minute his daughter went off to college.
Wow, the minute.
I'm telling you,
Wow.
he filed.
Wow.
He filed right away. So literally, like, he took her away, he went with his wife, came back, and he went to the lawyer.
He just knew.
Yes,
Not even trying to see if we still compatible. We ain't?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And let me say this, he is actually now in a very loving relationship with someone, so he's very happy too.
Okay, so men sometimes stay for...
They stay for children too.
For the children or different reasons for their covenant.
What is another yellow flag you think? And someone just messaged me saying that they're enjoying the conversation.
Oh, thank you. You are enjoying that conversation. So a yellow flag for me is when you're opening up about your life, you're sharing something about, you're opening up a little bit. This is not the first date. This is not the second date. This is not the third date. We're opening up and the person does not open up. The person does not even give you, even in friendship, like you're sharing things about you as a friend and somebody is like, not sharing.
Yeah.
They ain't even quiet. They could talk about other stuff. And they talk a lot about surface stuff, but they're not sharing anything in depth.
That's not a safe
depth.
space.
Yes.
It's not.
It's not
It's
safe space.
not.
Like when
That's
somebody
right.
when somebody does not want to go deeper than the surface, I think that's a yellow flag. Even though you all are continually conversating and getting to know each other, and they just want to stay at that surface level because it might be trauma that's there where they don't want you to know.
Okay, so would you say now, because like I said, we learn, and relationships are powerful. This is the place where we learn who we are not.
Yeah.
We learn what we need, what we want, what we prefer.
Yeah.
It's the place where we learn about forgiveness, communication.
All of it.
And all of our stuff come to the surface. So let me ask you this, Michaela.
Wow.
Would you say that at this point, like, what do you think you need now in terms, like, do you need someone who is a communicator? Like, what do you need from this? Not even want, need.
I need somebody who loves God and is asking God about me. He ain't going to ask the world about me. He going to God and say how to love this woman properly. And then and when God tell him how to love me properly, he's obedient. And then I feel like, when I see that he is serving God, he's obedient to God, that I'm going to choose to submit to that man. Like, I'm an independent woman. Yes, I am. I have children. I have to show up for them.
Right.
But I'm going to choose to submit to the man who's submitting to God. So I need somebody who is submitting to God. I need somebody who has vision and he could communicate that vision. Like, come on, we can't just be like out here just doing nothing. Tell me what your vision is for our relationship. Is everything, and be able to communicate that and be able to communicate those type of stuff and the hard stuff.
So,
If something about me that you could see that it's not in my best interest, like I am hurting myself, tell me, Michaela, you need to change. Like somebody could confront me and tell me this is what I see.
Okay, now,
Yeah.
a lot of times, this is a slippery slope now. Okay, so we hear, anyway, I go with this.
Go on the slippery slope. Go on the slippery slope.
Where we say, okay, men are leaders, and all men are leaders. When in reality, now we know, some ain't leading, can't lead out the wet paper bag, right? So, and I've told women, or when women say this, so I said, well, maybe those are not the men that you should select.
Yeah.
So we have to be careful who we select, because as a woman, if you are dating a person and you don't respect this person,
Yeah.
you don't need to marry that person. You don't
Yeah.
even need to be with that person. You
Yeah.
don't need to be with that person.
Yeah.
So you have to be careful. Like you're selecting the king.
You're selecting the king of
You
your
are
home.
right. You select.
Yes, the
So
king of
you
yes.
and women, I'm talking to you right now. You know, do you feel as though your man right now? What kind of king did you select?
And yeah, it's like he's going to be the leader of your house. Are you going to be able to submit to this man? Are you going to respect this man? The decisions that he makes, you're going to say, you know what? Whatever decision he makes, I know he makes it for the best interest of us. Are you going to trust him in that way wholeheartedly? It's like, that's a big
thing
to do. So you got to kind of submit your all and say, you know what? I trust him. If he say he could do that, I know he could do that. And if he asks me my opinion and it don't happen to agree with his and he's still making a decision, can I still trust that that's the decision that God told him to make?
Okay.
The Holy Spirit told him to make. And I just probably ain't seen something that God showed him. Can you trust that man? Sometimes he's not going to be the leader in everything,
way.
you know, but he
Right.
might be smart enough to know that Michael is great with budgeting. Michael is great budgeting.
Yes.
Let me trust her in that area. But a leader knows when he could take the lead, and he knows when also to say, sit back and let me and my wife do
Yes.
that, because my wife is better in that, and God showed me that she's better in that.
Yes,
you
and
know?
that's very powerful. I mean, seriously now, a good leader knows actually that his strength also lies in the team too.
Yes, the team.
You
Oh,
understand
the
what
team,
I'm
the
saying?
partnership.
Yes, in that partnership. The leader knows that he doesn't necessarily, he or she, anyway, we talking about the man. He
Yes.
doesn't necessarily need to have all of the answers.
Answers, yes.
And he recognizes that someone on this team,
Yes.
they have a better answer for this
Yes.
than I do.
Than I do.
And that's okay. That
Yes.
doesn't diminish me or diminish my role
Yes.
or me as a man.
Yes, because I'm your helpmate. Some
Yes.
things I can help with. Come and tell me what's going on. You know, if you see that I am somebody who can be, you know, I'm a
Okay.
safe space. Come on.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Good day. Ask your guest why she want the man to ask God what she want. Can she tell him what she wants? We grow as couples and learn as we grow.
Yes, I can definitely tell a man what I want. I can communicate, but I feel like when a man is going to God, that's a whole deeper level. He going to God first before he even come to me to see how to love me properly. And then guess what? I'm going to probably communicate those same things that God communicated to him, so that we both will be in alignment. You see, I'm not saying that I can't communicate to him, but I'm saying that a man who's submitting to God, who goes to God first in everything, every aspect of his life, he will go to God first and say, how can I love my wife better? And then I'm going to be able to tell him also. So that's an addition. So I can do both, because I'm very well outspoken, but I do want somebody who goes to God. I will also go to God and say how I can serve this man better.
Right.
So almost like going in your separate prayer closets and then coming together. Okay, and listening to the Holy Spirit for both, separate and together.
Right. Okay. Good
Yes.
stuff.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yeah,
was there?
but I could definitely say, hey, I need you to get my hair done. Love you better, but get my hair done. And get God to say, no, she need that. So yes, all of that. So sometimes us women, we can communicate, but sometimes we don't even know what we need. God knows us even better than
Sometimes
us.
we don't.
So we don't even know what we need.
No. Listen, we so confused. Eh?
Yes. But I can definitely communicate what I need at the level of the wisdom that I do know that I think I need. Yes.
Now, in a prior conversation, you had said, and you said this today too. Okay, when people show you who they are, believe them. What did you what did they show you? What did he show you before that maybe you didn't take to heart, and now it's like really kind? And let me tell you something. People are always telling you who they are. You know, they're telling you either verbally or non-verbally. But it comes out and we just ignore it. We say full speed ahead. That's
speed
yes.
ahead. I think in the actions, he was like kind of showing me that he maybe did not want the marriage, or he was done fighting for the marriage, but I just was the one keep pushing it. Hey, let's go to another counselor. Hey, let's read this book. Hey, let's go to this small group about marriage. So I think I was always the one like pulling him along. Like I had the vision and he was
doing
like,
most of the work.
Back in the ring with me to start doing the work. So at that point, I think I should just, you know what, step back and let him.
So at what point did you let go?
Totally.
Yeah.
So I left after the second adultery, and I still.
Was it with the same person or?
It was the same person who said they stopped. So a year and a half later, it was the same person. Literally, when I moved out after that, I literally still had hope. I still had hope. And I went and I did a fast. I did my fast for that 2 months fast. I still had hope. And then the Holy Spirit, listen, Stanya.
Oh my God.
The Holy Spirit said, go back home. I'm like, what? Go back home for what? I already gone from the house. Go back home for what? I thought, okay, maybe he's changed. Maybe it's going to be a miraculous something. When I went back home, and the Holy Spirit said, when you go back home, you say nothing. You stay silent until I tell you to speak. I went back home. I thought I was going to see this miraculous change. I thought I was going to see just a new person. It was the same person times 100 more distance. And at that point, the Holy Spirit said, now you speak, and now you know it's over. And now you can leave with knowing that you've done all you can. Yes.
Wow.
So I still had hope. I love marriage. I love the covenant. I love seeing the beauty in people, and I still wanted my marriage to work. But when he released me, I was released, and I knew, Michael, you did what you could to save your marriage. Because at that point, when I went back into the house, he was not even, like, he used to be a person who just listened, doesn't say anything. Like, he wouldn't even listen to me anymore. It was like I tried to speak, he would suck his teeth and walk out.
Wow.
It was like nothing there. Almost like hated me. Like he didn't even want me back in the home. And I was like, wow. When somebody shows you who they are, it's maybe when I left, it was like finally she left. I don't know what it was, but it was like, believe them. And after you believe them, put them where they belong. Because you can love somebody from afar. You can love somebody from afar, from a distance. And you could say, God bless you, and love them from afar.
So what was it like starting over?
Oh my gosh. It was so painful, and it was so scary because the Holy Spirit told me when he did say you released, he said, and you do not accept a number from anybody in next year. You don't even talking, don't even texting, nothing. So that was very hard for me because that was the part where the first time that I was actually single, not entertaining anybody. Like, it's just me.
So you took time.
And the Lord. I took time to get to know him again, the Lord, and time to get this without the branch of wife, without mother all the time. So I had this downtime now. They would spend time with their dad. So I had this downtime to now rediscover who I was. What I'm saying is that rediscovery and healing, guys, it sounds good, but it is so painful. So I realized that, I went into that marriage with a lot of trauma that I had to now unpack in addition to the divorce. Like, the divorce kind of stripped me down to know that, hey, now it's time. Ain't no more pushing this back. It's time right now. So it was quite painful, but it was also quite purposeful because I got closer to God in that moment. I definitely did. I rediscovered who I am, and I stopped checking for what society said about me. I stopped checking for what who care if I'm married or not. I stopped checking for what people say. It was no more people pleasing. It was, this is who I am. I'm going to show up as my authentic self. Take it or leave it. Okay, so you might lose a friend during the journey. So definitely found purpose. And when I started to go through all that pain, I created a Safe Space podcast because I said if I could help just one woman not to experience the loneliness I felt when I was going through divorce, then I feel like I would have made a difference. And through that process, I just met so many women and men, especially women who are going through so much. And all I see in our Bahamian women is resilience. I'm like, my God, we Bahamian women are resilient when they tell you what they've gone through, but you can't see it. With them walking around, you can't see it. They show up still as their best self. And I'm like, God, thank you for this experience. Even though I wouldn't have chosen divorce, thank you for this ministry, because women come back to me and say, Michael, thank you for sharing your story. And now I can share my story. And I'm like, you know what? That for me is it. Is it? Yeah.
This is a tough question. Okay, let's say, well, by the way, is he still with the person who he was seeing?
No, he didn't. He is not still with that person, but he is definitely getting married. Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay, so I have a question. This is a deep question.
It's a deep question.
Yeah. Okay. If he was a guest here, what would his version of things be? From through his eyes, what do you think?
So Stanya, I used to spend a lot of time trying to figure out what would he say, and that took so much energy from me because he never said it. We even never had closure. It was like I spoke and I told him why, and you know what, I'm so sorry that, I said forever, but it can't said anything back. So it was never any closure. So I don't even know what he would say.
Do you think he was even ready for marriage?
I don't think he was ready for marriage. I think he probably had healing he needed to do on his own, and he didn't even know that he had healing.
Because when I ask like what his version would be, it doesn't necessarily mean that you did something. I mean, although in some of these,
oh yeah, I did do some things. Like I don't think any marriage goes like it's just one person. So like I said, I wasn't healed when I married him. I was on a time time clock. I was silent with things I should have spoken up about. And maybe if I spoken up, maybe he would have done, I don't know, if he would have done a 360 if I spoke up earlier, So it's definitely things I did. Sometimes when I was independent, when I could have been, more, what's the word, is that interdependent? Mm-hmm. So, but that was through survival. So I think it's things that I did that I'm not going to do if I get married again. I'm not going to be independent. No, I'm going to be soft. And I need you to show up for me. So it's like, I don't know what he would say. And it drained me to keep trying to figure out what he would say. And I'm like, he never said it. I wish he would say, this is why I didn't show up for you and our daughter when we were in the hospital. This is why I cheated. This is why. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I wish he would say those things.
You said something very powerful.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, people say that, okay, who we date sometimes can mirror who we are. Mm-hmm. And you said two very important. See, I talk plenty now. I talk plenty.
Yeah, I wasn't healed and he wasn't healed.
But I listen a lot. So you said two things. One was that you said, right, you were not healed.
I was not healed. Uh-huh.
And clearly, if he's silent like this, there's some things he's clearly holding on to.
Yes.
So which suggests that he needs some little healing too.
Yes.
But you also said that you were silent about things too.
I was.
And so he was silent and you were silent as well.
I wasn't silent at the beginning of our marriage, but after something very emotional, like I'm a survival for my daughter to survive. She's in the NICU for months. Like I have to breastfeed, no milk coming from my breast. I had to go to the hospital 3 times a day. I can't even deal with the fact that I have to now go in survival mode and show up for my daughter. It was points where he wouldn't even come to the hospital. He would not even. He never even dropped me to the hospital. I still had to drive to the hospital 3 times a day. It's like he never said, let me do this for you one day and you rest. I went in some total survival mode of my daughter needs me and I don't know how we're going to make it, but God, show me what to do every day.
But okay, hold on now.
So that after that I went silent. I was okay. So that was about Michael, 3 years. Yeah.
This level, he was never like this during the courting period. No. Come on, for how silent
he would show up.
And hold on 1 second. And for you saying that he didn't even come to the hospital, how did he go from this into this other thing just months in between? I don't understand.
You don't understand, but it's him and I never experienced anything emotional in a negative way during dating. Sometimes you don't get to see all the parts of a person that he couldn't handle, he couldn't deal with. That didn't happen till we were married. Okay. That something emotional happened that happened to us. So in the dating, it was all he showed up. If he said he's going to show up here, he showed up. Like I thought that he would at least show up physically for me at all times.
Hold on. Did y'all ever have like an argument during the court, like a big serious argument? I'm talking about a little argument, but a serious argument where you guys were mad. Like how did he respond then?
Yeah, we did. It was more me having the argument, and he would say, "Okay, babe, yeah." That's it. So it's more me having an argument, and then he would quickly kind of like brush it off to say, yeah, okay.
So that could be the yellow flag.
That could be a yellow flag too. So it was not us talking about the argument and how it's going to be better, but it was like, yeah, okay, it's quickly kind of.
Right.
Yes. Like that's submission. Yes. Okay. So it was yes. Okay.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
So yes, but we did have arguments. I used to speak up a lot. Sometimes my sister would be like, girl, you need to take it down a notch. Because I think, I remember having a big argument when we were.
Did he propose?
At the beginning he proposed? He proposed, and he proposed. Like we talked about that. I wanted marriage. He wanted marriage. So 2 years in, he proposed. Yeah. Yep.
This is interesting.
Yeah, he did. And we thought we both were ready. I don't want you to think that we thought we both were ready. I don't want you to think that I didn't want marriage. I wanted marriage. I wanted the kids. He wanted marriage. He wanted the kids. We both had great jobs. He was a Christian. I was a Christian. We both thought we had enough in us to make it work.
Well, sometimes when people think that, okay, both of us are Christians, this means that we're meant to be together.
Not really.
And we're going to stay together. So is he okay? Now there people can be a bad wife or a bad husband.
No, he's not. He's not a bad person. I don't think he's not a bad person. He's a good father.
But see, you ain't
He's
let me
a good
finish.
father.
Oh, excuse me, ma'am. Just
Okay,
stand. Stand down. Stand down, ma'am. Thanks. So what I was getting ready to say actually was that okay, he may not have been a good husband or like I said in some cases a good wife, but it doesn't mean that they're a bad mother
it doesn't.
or father. So that's actually what I was getting ready to say.
He's a good father, and we co-parent well together.
Okay.
Once we take the emotions out of it and we say it's best for the kids, we have that conversation about the kids, and we know that it's about the kids, and we communicate well about our kids.
Okay, so
Yes,
that's
he's a good father. Yes.
Okay, so I know it's 2:00, so we got to wrap this up. So are you dating now?
I am dating. Yes, I am.
Okay.
And I call it single again. Okay, second time around, it's gonna be better.
Well, Michael, the only thing left for you to say just now, you know what I heard just now? Single again.
Single
Back
again.
on the prowl. Anyway,
It's
listen.
gonna be better. Okay, that's why I say it's gonna be better. So I'm just so hopeful for the future, and I want anybody who's divorced just to know that with God you can create a better future, the life that you want. So just take it one step at a time, one day at a time, and keep listening to God's voice.
Our time is done. And listen, Brittany being a little nice, she behaving a little bit.
Because we started late, remember?
I mean, it's, you ain't waiting for the white no more. I ain't even see the white send me no dirty message. Anyhow, where can we find the Safe Space podcast, and when are we getting started?
You can find a Safe Space podcast on YouTube at a Safe Space _podcast. You can catch up on season 1 and season 2. So, but when you're catching up, please subscribe because season 3 will be out in September very soon. You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram, a Safe Space podcast 242.
And by the way, Michaela has a new little person at the end of each episode.
Yes. At the end of each episode, you will get tips from our counselor on healing. Our counselor, Miss Stanya. Okay, she's my counselor for a Safe Space podcast, season 3. Okay, and guess what? We aligned with purpose.
Now, before we end, I just want to say, I want to say thank you, definitely, Michaela, for being a part of the show.
Thank you.
And sharing your journey.
Thank you.
And I also want to invite persons. Okay, we're getting ready to do the I Must Love Myself Enough project. It's a 7-day program. Guys, it's only for the women. Y'all go get your own program. Okay, hello. That's right. So 7-day program. So if you're going through a divorce, a separation, or maybe you're someone who have some little mommy issues, daddy issues. Like I say, I like to talk about parenting and how we need to give our mommy back her stuff and give your daddy back their stuff too. If you want to do the self-work, I want to invite you to be a part of the 7-day program. You can do it in different ways. One way is you can strictly do it on your own, where for 7 days you get an activity for you to complete on your own to your email. Now, I'm a little nosy, as you all know, so you still have to send me the responses so I know you're doing it. Okay, or you can join us for 7 days. I'll lead the session, and it's just a small group, but it's a whole lot of happening. It's a whole lot of stuff that happens this week or that week. We go through purpose. We go through fear. We go through your mommy stuff. We go through forgiving yourself. We go through a whole lot of things. So I want to invite you, if you're interested, I want you to send me, you can give me a call, 451-6767. Guys, I don't need y'all to call me, okay? I don't need y'all to, unless y'all calling the sponsor, tell it to Stanya, don't call me. Especially if you're short and petite. No, I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding.
I tell you, be open, Stanya, be open.
I'm just kidding. But seriously, if you know that something is not right, women, and you feel like you're constantly being misunderstood, it's time for you to do the work. So I want you to join me. We're doing this the last week in September 24th to the 30th. So if you're interested in being a part of our small group, give me a call, 451-6767. With that, we're going to end. And also, listen, I have some little news. I think it's news. I ain't sure. I have to speak to Dwight about this, but I think something going to be happening in September. We'll tell it to Stanya. That's all I got to say.
Okay.
So y'all have a good weekend. I'm going to go and stuff my gut. All right.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Let's find out together on Tell It to Stanya.